This August 15th, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin will meet face-to-face in Alaska. Not in Moscow, not in Washington, Alaska. It's a meeting that could redraw the map in Eastern Europe, and it's just one of 5 major political stories that are breaking right now. We're breaking them all down and why they matter more than the headlines suggest. Trump-Putin summit. This summit comes at a pivotal moment in the war in Ukraine. Trump has floated the idea of a negotiated settlement, one that could involve territorial concessions. Alaska was chosen for this symbolic reasons. Neutral ground, technically U.S. soil, but geographically closer to Russia than most Americans realize. Critics fear that it's a photo op that gives Putin legitimacy despite the ICC arrest warrant against him. Supporters say face-to-face diplomacy is the only way to end the war without years more bloodshed. Either way, the stakes couldn't be higher for Ukraine, for NATO, and for America's role in the world. Now, back here at home, there's another shakeup, and this time it's inside the IRS. Billy Long, appointed just 2 months ago, is out. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent will serve as acting commissioner while the White House looks for a permanent replacement. Why does this matter? Because the IRS is in the middle of a massive modernization push, plus enforcement efforts targeting high-income tax evaders. A leadership change now could shift priorities, could stall reforms, or change how aggressively the agency pursues cases. The move has already drawn fire from both political sides, each claiming it signals something different about the administration's tax agenda. And in the states, Democrats are making it clear that they're done holding back. For years, Democrats criticized aggressive Republican redistricting, drawing maps to maximize partisan advantage. Now, party leaders say they'll match that strategy state for state. So why now? The 2026 midterms could be decided by just a handful of congressional districts. In battleground states like North Carolina, Georgia, and Wisconsin, even minor shifts in district lines can flip control of the House. Critics call this hypocrisy. Democrats argue they're leveling the playing field after years of GOP dominance in map-making. Meanwhile, a fight is brewing between the federal government and one of the country's most prestigious universities. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has demanded access to Harvard's federally derived patent data, essentially intellectual property created with taxpayer funding. Lutnick says the public has a right to know what's being developed with public money. Harvard warns this could undermine academic independence and lead to government overreach into research. The dispute could set a precedent for all universities and research institutions that take federal grants, raising questions about who truly owns innovation in America. And on the other side of the world, focus is on defense. At the upcoming U.S.-South Korea summit, military coordination will take center stage. The drills, intelligence sharing, and joint defense planning are all being framed as counterweights to growing Chinese influence in the Pacific. This year's talks are expected to produce new joint exercises and possibly expanded missile defense cooperation. For South Korea, it's reassurance. For China, it's provocation. It's a reminder that America's political battles aren't just at home. They're also about global positioning on the global chessboard. From high-stakes diplomacy to domestic political maneuvers, these 5 stories aren't isolated events. They're connected by one thing: the struggle for control. Control over borders, over power, and over the future. Now, if you want to stay ahead of the next moves, hit subscribe, because tomorrow's headlines might just change everything again. Thanks for tuning in, and we're going to catch you guys next time.